bright. Good morning, everybody. It's me, Spencer Lee, back with another video. And as you guys can probably tell, we are out here today shooting Milky Way. It's the first Milky Way of this season. I don't know if you can see me. Hopefully I'm in focus, but it's the first Milky Way of this season. It's hella windy, but we've got clear skies. So we're out here at Pellé's chair. We're gonna try and take a picture of the Milky Way core rising directly behind the chair, or at least somewhat with the chair as the foreground, essentially. And then today I also wanted to try and practice one of the lighting techniques that I learned during the Milky Way off season, which is low-level lighting. Now, low-level lighting is not my own technique. I learned it from this photographer named Royce Bear, this astounding astrophotographer that's based out of Utah. Now, the gist of low-level lighting is you just shine a little dim light at your foreground subject, and it just creates enough ambient light to light your foreground while getting the Milky Way in the sky at the same time. So we brought this guy. This is a light stand typically used for flashes and stuff. So this is what we're going to be using for low-level lighting. And then I've also got this guy right here. This is just a small little LED light from a company called Bowling. So if I just attach this guy to this guy, set this thing up, shine it at Pellé's chair, hopefully it'll give enough light to light the foreground and then get the Milky Way rising in the background. But we're a little bit short on time. Milky Way is visible already. We're 4 minutes late. I need to get set up. I need to get shooting, and hopefully this turns out okay. Oh man, this wind is just kicking up all this sand and we're just getting pelted by it. But step number one of low-level lighting is to get your equipment set up. So we've got the light panel and we've got the light stand. We're gonna just get this spread out nice and wide so hopefully it doesn't blow in the wind. Ideally, I think I would like the light stand to stand up super tall, but unfortunately, I don't think the winds will allow us to do that today. So I'm gonna set this thing up relatively low and kind of pray that the wind still doesn't knock it over. But this will be my first time doing low-level lighting, and so we'll learn together. Essentially what I was told by the expert, Royce Bear, is, turn the lights off, let your eyes adjust to the darkness a little bit, and then increase the ambient light on your light bar or your light panel until you can just kind of faintly see a little bit of light on your subject. Now, it's a little hard because this light is so super bright, but if I were to crank this thing up all the way 100%, it's basically like a huge ass light beam. So I'm gonna try and set this up here 15% or maybe even 10%, I think would be enough. Let's go 10%. 10% sounds good. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's set up a time lapse or set up a shot. You can see how this foreground looks for this shot. Whew, this thing is already covered in sand. Today I'm just keeping it minimal. We got the 24 1.4 we're gonna use, and then we've got the A7 IV with the 14 GM. If I feel like we need another time lapse, we'll use that, but for now, we'll just stick with this one. Let me just get this tripod level, dial in my settings. All right, here we go. First Milky Way shot of the season. We'll go 6 seconds, f1.4, ISO 3200. I think we could actually probably turn down the amount of lighting that we're getting, but it's a good start. It's a good starting point just to practice these lighting techniques. So just real quick before I start this time lapse, I want to show you guys the difference between with the low-level lighting on and with the low-level lighting off. So let me take a shot with this lighting on, and right now I have the settings at like 2%. So like 2% power with like a 6-second exposure, f1.8, ISO 3200, and yeah, that foreground looks nice. Shadow detail, it's not too harsh, it's not too dramatic, but it's just evens out the frame nicely. Now, if I were to run over there and turn the lighting off, give me 1 second. Where's the off button? There you are. Okay, running back. Oh, this is just crazy. I'd like to get my time lapse started quickly, that's why. But let's see, take a shot now. See if you guys can tell or notice the difference here. Yeah, you can see the difference in foreground. There's still a good amount of foreground detail, and that's because we've got ambient light coming in from the side. But you know, there is a big difference when it comes to how much foreground detail we have and just the nature of that foreground detail. I don't know, let me know which one you guys prefer, whether it's just that nice little accent light with the low level lighting, or if just no low level lighting whatsoever. But okay, I really gotta start this time lapse here. I'm gonna lower the camera so that it's a little bit lower so the wind doesn't catch it as much. I think we are happy time lapses. The low level lighting should work for, you know, this shot. I actually really like the way it looks. There is some ambient light that we could have used to kind of give us a little bit of foreground detail, but I think this works just a lot better because you really get that contrast in the foreground. If it's just flat, you know, it looks okay, but it's, you know, it doesn't look as dramatic. So it's really the artistic effect that you can go through. Now, what I probably would have preferred to do today was walk that light all the way to the other side of the beach and raise it up super tall so I get kind of like a nice side lighting effect. The reason I couldn't do that is because it's so windy. It's like gusting like 30-40 mile per hour winds right now. There's always sand flying in our faces. It's shaking our tripods, and if I were to set up the light pole all the way down on that side, the wind would definitely blow it over. But you know, this is a good first attempt here at low level lighting. I'm trying to practice and learn a couple of more astrophotography techniques so that I can use it on this upcoming Big Island trip in a couple of weeks. So this is one of the two astro techniques that I wanted to use. The other one, which is tracking, we'll practice next week when we get a little bit more time to set up and we can focus a little more. But I just wanted to get the lighting techniques down, figure out what settings exactly I need to use, and kind of go from there. The next step will be learning how to track the Milky Way core. But enjoy these time lapses. I'm gonna maybe take a nap. I don't know, but we've got 2-3 hours until sunrise, and then we probably won't even shoot sunrise because it's gonna be so clear. But yeah, beautiful start to Milky Way season this year. Some absolutely gorgeous stuff happening right now. We've got the core rising just to the right. We do have a little bit of a crescent moon that's going to be rising in a little while, so it might snuff out the light a little bit, but then the sun comes out right after that, so regardless, we're going to get snuffed out for a little while. But right now is probably the best time to get our shots, and we've got pretty much totally clear skies, beautiful conditions. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Maybe less wind. It's cold right now. That's so pretty. So as you guys can see, we've got a little bit of a crescent moon rising. It's gonna look really good with this time lapse, especially with the 24 mil when we're punched in a little bit more. I think that time lapse was absolutely perfect. It just got all of the Milky Way core perfectly in the frame, and then now we've got the crescent moon rising off to the side. So we're just gonna give this time lapse a little bit more time for the crescent moon to rise. We've already kind of lost most of our detail in the Milky Way because not only is the moon bright, but the sunrise behind it is also very bright as well. I don't think I'm gonna stay until sunrise because I just finished up a 12-hour shift back to back, and then woke up again today at 3 a.m. to do this short little walk out here for Milky Way. So I'm a little tired and I'm a little cold because it's so windy, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it quits after this. But it was still just such a beautiful, beautiful morning, and yeah, a great start to this Milky Way season. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit of tips and tricks with my little low-level lighting experiment, and yeah, I can't wait to try shooting Milky Way again, maybe sometime next week when I can get out there with my tracker. But yeah, just a quick little video for you guys here today. Just wanted to show you guys our first Milky Way mission of the season, and then get into low-level lighting and share some of the trials and tribulations that I've had with it just on this first attempt. But overall, I think it was pretty successful. I hope and pray for you guys if you guys are also starting your Milky Way missions a little bit early for clear skies, just like tonight or today, this morning. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button if you like this video, comment below, and subscribe if you aren't already. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys. Peace.